In this video, we'll be resolving forces in equilibrium. Our question says forces F Newton at 30 degrees, P Newton at 60 degrees, Q Newton at 150 degrees, 3 Newton at 180 degrees, and 5 Newton at 270 degrees acts on a body. If the system is in equilibrium, let's take note of this, the system is in equilibrium, we are to find correct to one decimal place the values of P and Q. First and foremost, I want to walk you through how I actually pick these forces and their respective angles. Now we'll be using the Cartesian coordinate where I have my y-axis and also I have my x-axis. Now if my 5 Newton is at 30 degrees, I'll pick it 30 degrees to the x-axis. Here is 30 degrees. So I'll tag this as my 5 Newton and I want to call this my first one, F1. Now if my P Newton is at 60 degrees, then I'll be picking 60 degrees, which is still in the first quadrant, so that here I'll have 60 degrees to the x-axis. Then I'll call this my P, which is also my F2. I want to call that F2. And thirdly, if my Q Newton is at 150 degrees, that means it lies between the second quadrant. I want to pick it this way in the second quadrant, so I can trace this way to be my 150 degrees, and here is my Q Newton, and I would like to refer to this as my F3. And the fourth force is my 3 Newton, which lies on 180 degrees. So here is 180 degrees because it lies on the x-axis, but on the negative side of the x-axis. So I'll take this as my 3 Newton and I'll tag this as my F4. And finally, I have my 5 Newton, which lies on the 270 degrees. Now, if you look at 270 degrees, my first quadrant ends at 90, which ends here. The second quadrant ends at 180, which ends here. And the third quadrant ends at 270, which ends here. So my 5 Newton will lie on the negative part of the y-axis. So here is my 270 degrees and my 5 Newton. I'll tag it as my F5. Now for this body to actually be at equilibrium, that means the summation of my Fx resolving this will be equal to 0, and also the summation of my Fy after resolving each of the forces to both x and y axis will also be equal to 0. Now let's pick them one after the other. We know that the summation of my Fx will be the summation of F1 and the x component plus F2 and the x component plus F3 and its x component, F4 and its x component plus F5 and its x component. And this at equilibrium is equals to 0. Now the summation of Fy also will be the same thing as F1 and its y component plus F2 and its y component plus F3 and its y component plus F4 its y component plus F5 and its y component will also equals to 0. Now let's pick each of the components. So that for my F1, here is my F1 is acting at 30 degrees to the x-axis. So I'll pick it this way. Here is my F1 and is at 30 degrees to the x-axis, and the force itself is actually 5 Newton. So that I'll have Fx on the x-axis, I'll have Fy on the y-axis. So that for F1, my Fx of F1 will be the same thing as cos theta, that's cos 30 into 5 Newton. Now what is cos 30? Let's use my calculator. Cos 30 is same thing as 0.866. That's the same thing as root 3 over 2. That's 5. That's equals to 5 into 0.866. Now I can do this times 5. That's equals to 4.33 Newton. That's 4.33 Newton. That's Fx of 1. And same thing, Fy of 1 will be the same thing as sine 30 into 5, which will be the same thing as sine 30 is 0.5. Let me just confirm that. That's 30, and the sine of 30, that's 0.5 times 5, that's 2.5, times 5, that's 2.5 Newton. 2.5 Newton. I haven't solved this for F1. We'll do the same thing for F2. Now, from my diagram here, I know that this is F2, and F2 is the P Newton acting at 60 degrees to the x-axis. So that I have F2 here acting at 60 degrees to the x-axis. Here is 60 degrees to the x-axis. Here is P Newton, which is F2. So I can resolve F2 of x to be the same thing as P into cos 60 degrees, which is equals to P into cos 60 degrees. What's cos 60? Let's check my calculator once again. The cos of 60 degrees, that's 0.5. That's 0.5 P, 0.5 P, and Fy also will be the same thing as P sine 60 degrees. Obviously, sine 60 degrees will be the same as 0.866 into P. Now, that's for Fx and Fy. Here is for force F2. Now, we'll do the same thing for force F3. For force F3, I have force F3 here to be Q of N at 150 degrees to the x-axis. Now we'll be resolving. If you look at force F3, you notice that force F3 is lying in the second quadrant, and uniquely in this second quadrant here, you notice that my f of x is negative while my f of y is positive. Please do not neglect those conventions. So that for sine of F3, which is 150 degrees, I have it this way. Here's a force. Then here's my f of y. Here's my f of x. And here's the angle it subtends, which is 150 degrees. Now, if this part of this angle here is 150 degrees, that is the remaining part inside the triangle here will obviously be 30 degrees. And this is Qn, that is Q Newton. So that f of x here will be the same thing as Q cos 30 degrees. And cos 30 degrees is the same thing as sine 60, which is 0.866. That will be 0.866 Q. And Fy of x of F3, that's F3 here, Fy of 3 at the same time will be the same thing as Q sine 30 degrees. Sine 30 degrees is the same thing as cos 60 degrees. That's 0.5. That's 0.5 Q. Like I said initially, do not neglect the sign convention. At this point, my f of x is in the negative axis. So this will be minus 0.866. Minus 0.866. Now let's check for F4. Now F4 lies on the x-axis. This makes it a lot easier. Since F4 is lying on the x-axis and it is in the negative plane, I can conveniently deduce that Fx of 4 will be the same thing as minus 3 newtons because it's on the negative axis, and Fy of 4 will be the same thing as 0 because it lies on the x-axis. And now we can look at Fx of 5 and Fy of 5. Now Fy of 5 is lying also on the y-axis, also in the negative direction. If you look at this, we can deduce that my Fy of 5 will be the same thing as Fx, okay, this is Fx of 5. Fx of 5 will be the same thing as 0 Newton, while Fy of 5 will be the same thing as, let's pick the value, will be the same thing as 5 newtons in the negative direction. That will be minus 5 newton. Now we can now sum up everything because my state is at equilibrium, so that the summation of Fx will be equals to 0. Now let's pick the forces together one after the other. Let's start from F1. Fx of F1 here, Fx here is 4.33 Newton. So I'll pick that as 4.33 Newton plus F2. Fx of F2 is 0.5, that's 0.5 P, and then F3, for Fx of F3, that's plus 0.866 Q, or it's negative, that's minus, not plus, it's negative here, that's minus 0.866 Q, and Fx of 4, that's minus 3, plus Fx of 5, that's 0, equals 0. Now let's sum everything together. I have 4.3 here, I have minus 3 here, and plus 0. Plus 0 gives away. 4.3 minus 3, that's 1.33 plus 0.5p minus 0.866q equals 0. So that 0.5p minus 0.866q is equals to minus 1.33. Now let's pick for Fy. Summation of Fy also equals 0. I'll pick from the first force F1. So that F1 here, for Fy, I have it as 2.5 Newton. So I have 2.5 Newton plus F2 of Y plus 0.866 P plus 0.5 Q plus 0 minus 5 equals 0. So that I have 2.5 minus 5, that's obviously minus 2.5, that's minus 2.5 plus 0.866 P minus 0.5 Q equals 0. So that 0.866 P minus 0.5 Q equals minus 2.5. Here I have two simultaneous equations. I can refer to this as equation 1 and I can refer to this as equation 2. Mind you, this is minus 2.5 goes to the other side to become plus 2.5, not minus 2.5. Now let's call up these equations. Now I have both equations. I have equation 1 and I have equation 2. Now I have 0.5p here, I have 0.86. And here I have minus 0.5. I want to multiply equation 1 by minus 0.5 so that I can use basic simultaneous equation. That is 0.5 times 0.5. That's equals to 0.25. That is 0.25p. Minus times minus becomes plus, and I have 0.866 times 0.5. That's 0.866 times 0.5, 0.433. That's 0.433 Q equals 1.33 times 0.5. That's 1.33 times 0.5. That's equals 0.655. 0.665. Here's from equation 1. I have 0.655. Then I'll multiply equation 2 again by 0.866. 0.866. Now if I multiply equation 2 by 0.866, I'll have 0.866 times 0.866. I'll have 0.866 times 0.866. Sorry. I'll have 0.866 times 0.866. That's equal to 0.7499. That's 0.75. That's 0.75 plus, now 5 again now times 0.866, that's 0.75 0.433Q. Now it's minus because the sign here is negative, is equals to 2.5 times 0.866, 2.5 times 0.866, that's 2.12, 2.165, approximately 2.12, that's 2.165. Now with this plus 0.3 adds to this becomes 0. I have 0.25 plus, this is P, plus 0.75, that becomes 1P, that is P, equals 0.665. I can easily add this plus 0.665.665, that's 2.8. That's P is equal to 2.83 Newton. Now, if P is equals to 2.83 Newton, obviously 0.5 into, I'm substituting into equation 1, 2.83 Newton minus 0.866 Q is equals to minus 1.33. 0.5 times 2.8, that's times 0.5, should be 1.415. This is 1.415 minus 0.866 Q is equals to minus 1.33. 1.415 goes to the other side, so I'm left with minus 0.866 Q equals minus 1.33 minus 1.415. Now minus 1.415, I can decide to take my negative sign out so that this is minus into 0.866 Q equals minus into 1.33 plus 1.415. So the negative sign cancels the negative sign, and my Q finally should be the same thing as 1.415 plus 1.33. That's equals to 2.75. Should be equals to 2.75 all over 2.745, not 2.75, 2.745 all over 0.866, 0.866. That's equals to, divided by 0.866. That's equals to 3.1697. That's approximately 3.17 Newton. 3.17 Newton. Now, so that the value of P is equals to 2.83 Newton, and the value of Q is equals to 3.17 Newton. With this, I hope you have followed me in resolving these forces into their various components and also saying how we solve for P and Q. In case you have gray areas, please don't hesitate to use the comment section. Thank you for staying with us, and see you in our next class. Problem